All right. Oops. We've got the light coming right in. All right. Good morning, people. Just a moment. Okay. Doesn't matter what I do. I think that light's going to come in on me. All right. We're a little bit early. I'm just going to wait for some people to come through. I might even have to turn around this way a little bit. It's fine. Okay. All right. Whoops. All right, we're just waiting for people to come through, which is cool. As I organize, let me know if you can hear me, if you're here right now. Okay, just let me know if you can hear me. Of course, that's got to happen. All right. Okay, cool. Thank you. I had to pull the blind right down. I'm I'm glowing. All right, just getting myself organized. The sound will be on in just a second. I'll make it even super louder. Hi, Michelle. I'm just getting organized. We're nearly ready. Good morning. Thank you to those who are here. Okay, cool. You can hear me. Great. Just make sure that is nice and clear. All right. It's a glowy time. I've called everybody in. Just setting up. It is. It wasn't 5 minutes ago when I was checking the before you turn on the thing, obviously you check what the video looks like, and it was just normal. I was able to have the whole window open. Never mind. Just lighting some sage, people. I know we've got about 10 minutes before I scheduled to start, so I'm just sort of setting up and messing around, of course, getting some sage going on. We're going to have a great session today with our webinar for our soul purpose. So I'm looking forward to sharing with you guys some information and meditations. I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes. That's it. 5 words. So I'm pretty versed at all this stuff, so it should be okay. All right, let everybody. Some people may be watching on Patreon as well, which is fine. All the patrons get the free webinar. Thank you so much. I'm just using some sage. So, if you're already in here, make sure you have some crystals with you. They're very good for amplifying the energy, and they also get attuned as you go forward. Now, I have my microphone. Can everybody hear me okay with that now? Because I tend to shout. Okay. All right, cool. Thanks, Michelle. Hey, Katie Cat. Welcome. And your candlelight, yep, I've got 2 different candles on today. I've got my guardian angel and my big red candle. Just lighting some sage. Okay, cool. Yep, the microphone should pick me up pretty well. So let's hope. And we will be doing some meditations and things today, so well, Patty, you need to turn yourself up. This is as loud as it gets. You might have been muted for some reason. Music level is good. Okay, cool. I've kind of gotten used to having the music in the right format now. Yeah, make sure before the 10 o'clock thing that we get all the wrinkles and kinks fixed. Patty might have to go out of it and come back in again. And I welcome each and every one of you here that's here. I hope we have a lot of people. There's a lot of patrons. I know there are some people who couldn't make it this morning. It's really hard to figure out the times that will accommodate, and also, we've got different time zones all around the world. So I'm trying, but also I have to think of what fits for me as well. And some days I never usually do these because Bobby has band practice, but he's going to be later today, so that's good. All right, everybody. I hope we have more. Okay, 8 people. Thank you for coming in. We're just sort of setting everything up if you're just here now. Hopefully you're going to be able to hear me. These are very important meditations that we'll be doing today. And there's a lot of information that I need to get out. Yay! Patty, did you go out and go in again? That's always my go-to. Okay, I'm going out and coming back in. Or I'm turning it off, turning it back on. Or let's turn the internet off and then turn it back on. That's what I always do. That's like a go-to turn it on or turn it off thing. Good. All right, so I'm just saging out this room. Not that it really needs it because I've got the sage on like all the time. But we got this glowing thing. Isn't that cool? Well, I can see it. There you go, the power. The power is coming out of the hands. You want to activate your hand chakras? Here they are, look. Ooh. Home of the fire and the earthquakes. Oh my God, look at this. Isn't that cool? That's cool, right? So sending you all. Look at that. I always do my triangles. The triangles are part of the healing thing for me. Just sending out the healing activations. It's so cool. I don't know what I'm doing. But welcome to everybody. Still there. I have the power. Look. Okay. We have tons of fires, just so you know. See, look, every time I put my hand up, there it is. Just so you know, we have smoke here, and I have been really struggling with it on our walks, especially. Oh, did everybody see that? It just went past my head. Did you guys see that orb right then? Tell me, Bobby, you saw that. You're gonna have to go back a second. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, did you see it? Did you see the orb? That was cool. Excellent. I'm still going to try to do this all day. It doesn't do it on this side. It's just doing it in front of me. That's so cool. I know. It went up super bright. All right, so what time we got? Couple of minutes, guys. I know. Couple of minutes. I'm wondering if there's some sort of delay or I'm just expecting you guys to type instantly. Nanu, nanu. I can't even do the nanu, nanu. Oh, so cool. Okay. So hopefully there are more. I will have to wait just a moment for some more people to come in. On a serious note, this is what I'm going to be doing with the webinar today. We are working on our soul purpose, of course. We're working on oh, hey, Blaine. We're working on our charts, our blueprints, our charts. We'll be able to take a little bit of a look at those through meditation. And also we're going to have an induction into your spiritual path. Okay, I'm going to take you through a beautiful meditation yeah, of course, you've got the link. You'll always be able to look at this. Hello, welcome. And yeah, so we're going to do an induction into your spiritual path. I've got this light thing happening and I'm just loving it. The link is that you have is going to be available unlisted. I'm not going to change this. This is going to be just for patrons. If you want to show other people, that's on you. No worries. So patrons, you'll be getting, good morning. Thank you for being here. Patrons, you'll be getting, you know, quite a few different things. So there's another orb that just went past. You guys will be getting quite a few different things, okay, as we go along from YouTube, etc. And also I have this beautiful platform now where you're going to be able to do courses and things in your own time. So my big courses on channeling and different methods of energy healing and Reiki courses and all those sorts of things, you're going to be able to do it and get a certificate, etc. with me. And it's going to be great because you'll have access to it. So this is going to be awesome. This is where I want to be, is teaching. And teaching you guys how to do readings or teaching you how to do everything. So it's going to be fantastic. And because I appreciate all you patrons helping us to get to where we want to be one day. And this is why I'm doing this webinar today. So I'm going to wait probably, I know some people are probably just coming in now. We have 16 people here now. So I will wait. I will also timestamp this video after so we know exactly where everything started, so you can get straight into the webinar if you want to watch it again. Okay, so we will be doing meditations. They are going to be pretty intense, okay, not as intense as some of my other ones. This webinar should go for possibly about 2 hours. And in it, we're going to be doing declarations, intentions, learning about soul purpose and what your soul purpose theme is. I've got a whole list of different themes so that you can sort of see where you fit in, okay? We're doing meditations with the Mother God and Jesus and the angels. It's like a huge induction that you're going to have onto your spiritual path, into your destiny. Yeah, and I will also do from my book, Angelic Guidance, I will read to you what Archangel Michael said in a channeled message about our soul purpose as well. And some people have my book, but it's nice to read it again. And I keep getting this beautiful light here, which I love. Okay, and we will do some interesting things. So I'm just hoping that there's more than 15 people. I hope so. I know some people have told me that they are going to have to watch later. Morgan's here. Welcome. Hey, Morgan. Morgan's in Cali as well, I think. You're in Cali. And so we will do these, have this interesting fun today. Obviously, my husband, Bobby Failsafe, is going to be also helping out if you guys don't hear something. And look, we've got orbs everywhere. I've called everybody in before we started today. This is pure daylight and we're seeing orbs. There's no light in front of me other than my window. Nothing there. So it's pretty interesting. I keep seeing them going like this. That's so cool. And we will do, and when I'm talking through the webinar, once I get through the webinar and I start to talk and it all starts, I'll probably turn the chat off and then I'll turn it back on again for myself when we do question and answer time, etc. Just so I don't get distracted, because I tend to look at your comments and I'm like, oh, there's, I want to say something to you. And then I forget where I'm at. So that's how we'll do it. I'm just going to keep on lighting a little bit more incense here. Incense. Sage. I really recommend that you sage afterwards as well once we do this. Just because you're going to be clearing a lot of energy today. Okay? There's going to be a lot of energy. All right. And as always, I'm using a piece of Auralite 23. I have it around my neck as well. Yes! I don't just call in any old spirit to come and join us. I just call in my light team, my higher self, and God and Goddess, source energy. And that's it. I bring in my light team, my higher self, and God, Goddess, Jesus, of course, everyone who's a part of my light team into this space, and also to help to facilitate with all of you guys. And you guys are we're going to be doing a declaration coming up here pretty soon to call in all of your team as well. You need them with you. You need to be in a place of receiving while we're doing this work. And then we shut it off at the end. We don't want to continue it on all day. And that's a big lesson for everybody, is learning to open yourself up to receive and then shut yourself down. I just got a buzzing in my ear. Okay, so things are going to happen today, I'm telling you. But we don't just let any old spirit come in. This is all controlled. In fact, none of them are interested in me because I'm too love and light. A negative energy or a negative spirit is going to go to somebody that's an easy target. I know, look at this. It's just the window. It's just the window. And it's almost shut. I can't shut it any further because I've got stuff on my windowsill. Probably like everybody else. I've got so much stuff on my windowsill, it's not funny. Okay. All right, I'm going to wait 5 more minutes before I get started. It must be. Well, they're here, like I've called everybody in, so, they're here. The energy is here. You'll probably see stuff behind me. Maybe you can watch back later and see all of the energies that were there. Amazing. All right, we've got a lot to get through. I've got some beautiful meditations for you guys, though. And we will be going over, and you don't get a PDF or anything. Oh, you like this ring? Oh, it's an amethyst ring. And I bought this in Adelaide to commemorate my grandmother. So there you go. To commemorate my grandmother, so just so I remember her. Because sadly, with my grandma, the thing was that her rings and everything was stolen straight off of her arms, off of her fingers when she died. And she had one just like this for me. It was a blue one. And she wanted me to have it. And all the rings were stolen off of her by her daughters. Isn't that horrible? I couldn't get over it. So anyway, I bought that for her. I've been probably wearing it ever since. And I have white sapphires as my, you probably can't see it, white sapphires for my engagement ring and wedding band. They're all white sapphires. So all the gemstones, which I love. I didn't want diamonds. So anyway, this probably shines better than a diamond anyway. All right, you guys. As I said, I will timestamp when this webinar actually starts so you don't have to see all the beginning part. It's always the way. So I'm moving, if any of you are listening and have been at my other webinars, I'm moving away from click meeting. Yeah, see, the orbs are everywhere. Yeah, exactly. I'm moving away from click meeting and into another platform now, which is going to be so much better anyway. So we won't have any of those dramas that we had every time I was trying to do a webinar. It's so frustrating. People couldn't hear, they couldn't log on, they couldn't see me, or there was some kind of problem. So doing it this way is also a good idea. Doing the live webinars like this. Because you guys get the unlisted link, nobody else is going to see it, and you're here, which is fantastic. All right, so I'm just kind of trying to be fair, and I'll wait till 10 past 10 to see Okay, Kay Corson's here. Hi, Kay. Welcome. See, I knew a couple of people might come in just that little bit later. And I hope that you're ready to really acknowledge your soul purpose. After today, you'll kind of understand it a little bit more. And also maybe see some visualizations or have some sensations during our meditation time. So it's dinner time, okay? During our meditation time, I hope that you have the experiences that I really am pushing for you guys, so that you can really grasp just how, the magnificence of the soul, each soul, and your journey, where you're going, where you've been, and some different themes, etc. that you may be working on personally. And sometimes those themes are opposite to what you think, but you're working on them anyway. So we'll go through these different things, and understanding that your soul purpose is never just one thing at all. So many things make up your soul purpose. So now a couple of people have, what's happened? It looks like there's a couple of people that have sort of dropped away. I'm not sure whether they're having issues, but we'll see. Okay, just getting ready to start. And once I get started, we're going to go through a intention, giving permission for this energy to start working with us. So I will take us through that, okay? And I will turn off the chat at that point. All right. All right, so just real quick, I'm just going to make sure I've got everything here, everything lined up. All right, there's my themes. And then we're going to do a big induction. It's like a ceremony that we're going to be doing, a little thing, a little bit of a visualization for you. We'll do this at the end. And it takes you onto your true spiritual path as a mystic. And then there's Archangel Michael. All right, just waiting for a couple of people. And I am going to get going. All right. Okay. All right, everybody. Okay. All right, now. Okay, we'll use that one. Okay. I'm just making sure I've got the right meditations for us. Let me know, are we ready to go, everybody? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Let me know if you're ready to get going. And away we go. Okay. Okay. Excellent. All right, everybody. It looks like most of you are ready to go. Okay. All good. Fantastic. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do just to begin is I'm going to turn the chat off, so I'm not going to be able to see it, but my husband will be there to answer things. If somebody comes in, I don't want to keep going. I don't want to, be interrupted when we get started. All right, so remembering that you can always come back to this video and watch it. I will timestamp where it starts right at the bottom when we're finished today. Okay. If you do happen to want to send a donation, Bobby will put up links for PayPal. I'd rather it go through PayPal because for some reason payments don't come very well with the super chat. But anyway, if you want to, but you don't have to, I'm just happy to have all of you here and your support. Let's start with our our soul purpose, the introduction. So basically what this is about today is understanding who you are as a soul, what you're trying to achieve here, how you sort of came to be who you are, and where you're supposed to be headed. Now, I use that word supposed to be lightly because we're not really supposed to do anything. So for some reason, when people come and have asked me over the years, what am I supposed to be doing? I think what that actually means is what is going to bring me the most money, the most success, the most fame, the fortune, and everything that I want. What is the skill that I have? And some people think that that's their sole purpose, is whatever skills you have, you know, and how you can improve on those skills and make them bigger and better and brighter and all that sort of stuff. But the real truth of the matter is that your sole purpose is, for the most part, to find happiness and joy so that you get to the point in your life where you don't have to ask anybody anything. You don't need a reading. You don't need to be, asking psychologists for anything. You don't suffer from any depression. You don't suffer from anxiety. You have a way of mastering yourself and working these things out. And basically, everybody's sole purpose is to master the self. However, we also have all these different themes, etc., that we may be trying to work on, right? So your sole purpose is all about you beginning to understand who you are on every single level, and understanding that you don't need to be suffering. You can work out how to heal yourself, everything. So when people look at me and they're like, wow, how do you do it? Well, I put all of these things into action. I don't need to talk to anybody. I don't need readings. I don't suffer from anything. My body's completely healthy. I'm getting younger all the time. These are all the things that I affirm and declare as well. If I get angry, I get angry. If I cry, I cry. If I'm having a bad day, I'm having a bad day. I don't analyze it and go back over it and start feeling guilty or feeling bad. So there's parts of this are, self-help, of course, getting yourself into awakening of who you are. And believe me, there's been so many traumas in my life and abuse in my life that I shouldn't be here, right? That's for sure. So it's not like it was easy for me to do all of this. This is all coming forward from a place of healing for you all so that you can get there too, right? So your soul purpose, self-mastery, whatever you want to call it, is here. You're living your purpose already, but it can be even better than you imagined. All right, so these are the things that we're going to be working on today, looking at different themes. I'm also going to be reading for you channeled message from Archangel Michael on our soul purpose. This comes from my angelic guidance book. This was a channeled book. If you don't have it, you can look anywhere and everywhere online for the angelic guidance book, and you'll be able to find it in cheaper places, whatever. Soon I will have more copies with me personally, and then I can sign them before you receive them. So that's really nice to get a signed copy. But for right now, I only have like 2 copies with me. So anyway, I'm going to read to you from there. We're going to do some meditations. when we do the meditations and the declarations, etc., I want you to just use your imagination. Allow your senses to work for you by using your imagination. And the experiences that you have will be amazing if you can do that. And also that some of you will receive a lot of messages in the coming weeks. So after doing this today and setting this intention, you're on your way already for the next part of your life to begin. We'll also be doing a special induction with God and Goddess energy, so Mother and Father God, okay? I don't often talk about Mother and Father God because some people get all worked up about it, but when you see this beautiful energy, you will go, okay, that's balance. That's what I needed. You know, I needed both, the feminine and the masculine working with me. Source energy is the same. It's masculine and feminine. So we'll be bringing this in. And we'll also do a question and answer time as we're going along as well. So I won't have any breaks in this today. I'm just going to get it all out there. But we will have breaks in the form of question and answers. And this is something that you can always come back to. All right, so the first thing that I want to do is bring in the declaration for you, your light team. Your light team are your angels, guides, loved ones, ancestors, animal guides, gods, goddesses, everybody that works with you from light. And I just call it your light team so I don't have to mention all those names when we're doing the meditation. So that's what I call it. It could also be those from other planets, etc. as well, who are watching over you. They're there. Okay, they're watching over us and coming a lot closer as well. And they're family. All right? Family with family. Okay, so let's start this. What I want you to do is make sure that your arms and your legs are not crossed over, and you're free. You can have your hands up like this on your lap. You can hold your crystal. However you want to do it, just keep your energy open and repeat after me out loud if you can. If someone else is in the house, then repeat after me in your mind. Okay, just with the intention of receiving. All right, that's where we want to be. So here's our declaration to begin. Okay, so close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and out. And just listen to my voice. Repeating after me. As a sovereign light being, I hereby give permission for my soul purpose, higher self, and source energy to flow through me. I give permission for my light team to stand guard and reinforce my protection now. I'm in tune with the universe, and all my senses are open. Anything blocking my path, I hereby release with love. I'm open to understanding. I'm open to opportunities. And I awaken my true self confidently. With gratitude and love, it is sealed in love and light. It is done. And so it is. Take a deep breath in and out. Okay, everybody. So just by creating an intention or a declaration like that, we've already brought your team forward. The source energy of the mother and father, God energy, your personal guides, loved ones, ancestors, everybody is here now with you. You are protected in a veil of beautiful light, and now you will be open to opportunities and new directions, abundance, everything that you've been looking for. Clarity is big for a lot of people. Just have clarity. That's coming forward, okay? And you're in this beautiful, peaceful, and calm state. So when I say that I've called everybody in, that's pretty much what I've done. And sometimes it's different. And whenever you have a reading with me, we also do this at the start of the reading. We bring ourselves into a connection, grounding and opening, and a channel of light moving through. This is really important, right? So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to read to you from my angelic guidance book, the message channeled by myself from Archangel Michael on your soul purpose. I'm going to read it out loud to you. It's quite long. And then we're going to talk about this before we move into our next little part of the webinar today. We move into a meditation and have a look at your charts, etc. So after I've explained this to you, it's going to make a lot of sense, okay? So here we go. And I said to Archangel Michael, questions like, what happens before we were born? Do we really keep coming back? What's my purpose in this life, etc. And I said, everybody wanted to know these things, and here's his answer. As I said, I'm warning you beforehand, it's long, all right? Dear children of Earth, it's with great pleasure and pure light energy that I'm here to help you today and always. Every human being on this earth has the same soul purpose, meaning that you are here or have chosen to be here to heal the planet. This is what's going on right now, right? So this was written back in 2013, and here it is. It has always been the way of it for humans. It's always been the way of it for humans, and we angels have stood by at every single soul's birth and have continued to guide you eternally. For it's our universal service to you, humanity. Even as tiny infants, you could sense, feel, and later see us clearly. And mothers will testify to this, seeing their infant children looking at nothing in particular and smiling away. And so we angels stay with you constantly and visibly in 3D form for the first 6 months or so of all of your lives, so that you're not overwhelmed with the sudden loss of your friends and family on the other side, or what you call heaven. It is later in life that you find us again, and always of your own choosing. As you were each born with all the memories and abilities of your past lives and your time on the other side, but you're also in reach of your higher self, and that is the part of you that exists behind the veil. And so you are given the ability to connect with this part of yourself that certainly has all the knowledge and answers that you ever seek. Should you so choose to walk alone and never ask us angels, guides, universal energies for help, we will still be by your side and wait for your homecoming, which to us is like a blink of an eye. There's no time as you know it on the other side of the veil. This is something that you may find hard to comprehend because you think differently in linear time on earth. Every single time you choose to walk the earth, that is born again, You do so at your will for a healed earth. You wouldn't have missed it. You wish to do your part in the great healing which is occurring right now as we speak. The world is changing to a peaceful existence. This is something many of you have worked on for hundreds and thousands of years. So you keep coming back to earth so you could do your part in this healing. Although when you're in the comfort of what you call heaven, you think that you will easily remember your life mission. And yet every single one of you at some point in your life are totally in denial or have no idea what is right or what your purpose is. So before you come here, you're like, oh, I'm going to remember, right? And then we don't. So your soul, or you as a soul, has many parts. Parts of you existed and cracked in past lives, and hence your earthly karma exists from these times. You have a unique soul essence, one which always comes back to earth time and time again. This essence is how people that you know now remember you, your soul essence, and have thus chosen to be near you again. You know, when you just recognize someone and you just know them, you're recognizing the essence of who they are or have been. Indeed, every single person that you know, even your friends, are your friends because part of them recognized the essence of who you are and who you have been. And this familiarity is what makes you friends now. It's never by accident. The people that you meet, good or bad in life, they have recognized your soul essence in this life. And people may instantly dislike you or love you or want to stay near you or sense something different about you. Do not be upset by those who turn away from you or even hurt you because you have now erased or cleared the karma or energy transference between you, whatever that may be. Therefore, your life, although not always straight away, will become easier and more peaceful with that part of it cleared. There are no accidents or coincidences, as you have carefully orchestrated events into your life. Hard to imagine, isn't it? We angels don't understand how you humans keep coming back time and time again and go through such hardships, all for the one goal, a united and peaceful earth. Isn't that interesting? But here you are again. We angels consider you all the bravest warriors, and we see you in colors that to us resemble all the things you have been, will be, and already are. So again, when you are around negative people who affect you, or you don't feel comfortable in their company, just be aware that for whatever reason, your souls have looked at each other, and therefore the balance and your karma have been restored and cleared. It's all it needed sometimes. The energy exchange between you is noted. And so then move on from it. Don't ever stay where you don't feel comfortable in life. This is true for any life question. Your heart will always relay to you the feeling that you need to follow. When you pass over from your earthly existence, the pieces of you, the soul essences that have been existing in the soul plane, will reunite with you, making you complete again. So just quickly, where we are now is our physical existence. When we transition and pass away and go to the other side of the veil, we are in complete wholeness. When we go through that doorway and we open ourselves up to the other side of the veil, we are completely in a different plane. There is no physical on its own existence. There is a wholeness that we are missing right now. So we don't see things the same way we do when we're on earth. And that's why if you were connecting with a loved one, They're not going to be angry with you or upset with you or make you feel guilty. And if you do hear that kind of message, you need to get rid of whatever that energy is, because it's not from the light, right? And it's probably not even a family member, because they're too in wholeness, they're too understanding of everything. All right, so I'll just keep going. Okay, the pieces of you that are on the soul plane are like an imprint of which you were in the past and all of those lives. And these are the essences that people in the past have remembered you from. When they tap into their higher self, they have connected with your soul essence that exists from past lives. And this is what mediums tap into with their readings, the soul essence of a person. For example, this is going to be interesting for you guys. For example, one might wish to speak with their grandmother who died 20 Earth years ago. The chances of this grandmother being on the other side are slim, considering it is usually only 7 Earth years or so, and most people choose to come back again. So who is the medium talking to? Yes, she is in effect talking to grandmother, but she is talking with the soul essence of who grandmother was on earth. These memories and lessons still exist on the earth plane and the soul plane. And when a medium looks beyond the veil, the medium's higher self and the grandmother's essence can meet and talk and therefore relay messages to you. Yes, I know this is confusing for some of you because your earthly vision is that of 3D. So the complexities of the other side are difficult to grasp. Indeed, you will need to think or shift your consciousness to a higher level in order for you to grasp this properly. Even though you have been to the other side so many times before, each earth experience is there, so you will remember all of your abilities that you have been born with and use them to heal the world. That's what we're here for. Because of earthly limitations on your thinking, many still are in the old earth frequency, and naturally doubts and fears will arise in the hearts and minds. So each of you have devised a plan of how your life on earth will unfold. This is what we call blueprints. This is what we call your life chart. Yes, you've pre-chosen your family, friends, lovers, children, etc. And although you may not get along with certain family members, you wouldn't have chosen them if they were not from your family previously. You are, in a sense, always returning to the same soul group, which ultimately gets larger over time. Some of you are even your own ancestors. In fact, most of you are. Each person you meet has a connection to you, and this is eternal. The fact that you have crossed paths is not coincidence, rather part of your life plan and theirs. No matter what decisions you make, you are always going to follow the same path, and that is to find peace and happiness in your life, which in turn has a ripple effect on the healing of the globe. Oh, so you thought it had to be a huge job. No, you see, there you go again. You're thinking on a linear level of 1 + 1 = 2. Your happiness brings peace. All of your emotions have effects on the earth. All of your emotions have effects on the earth. I'll say it one more time. All of your emotions have effects on the earth. And so this travels through all your energy centers, into Mother Earth, even into the cosmos. And so the more love, compassion, happiness, and peace you have within you, the more is transmitted to the universe, and then the earth is at peace. Finding the happiness within and being at peace with your life will be the biggest challenge that you face. But when you just give into it, you will find that suddenly all makes sense and you'll feel your soul purpose. As you can see, there's a lot of work to be done. There'll be no end of the world. There'll be no end of the world, although you will still have to adjust to the climatic changes and the result that this brings, as well as the movement of the Earth's plates, which are always shifting, which will in turn cause more worldwide problems. However, this is not from God, but the effects of the decisions people on Earth have made, thus affecting the Earth's aura also. Okay? Anything that happens is because of us. So it can be good or it can be bad. But from these Earth changes happening, as we have seen in the past, people come together. People unite in rebuilding and helping others and showing their compassion. And although this is difficult, the flow of light from people does so much for the repair and well-being of Mother Earth that you will live in an entirely different and peaceful world. But the rebuilding together, as we angels have seen you do so many times before, repairs the damage and makes things better. Changes come into play, and slowly but surely, world peace will become yours. Okay, this is from 2013. Remember that there's never ever any type of punishment from God. The universal energy you call God or Allah, Elohim, Jesus, etc. is not responsible for the choices that people make. He does not make you sick. He does not make children die. Remember that your destiny is pre-chosen. This includes your time of death. This is always chosen for the benefit of others, although your family may not see it as a benefit when they lose a child or family member, not right away, but later is realized within you. The reasons why they were there, what they were teaching you. Your loved ones generally would choose to come back to Earth quickly as a child born to be with you again. Family with family. The essence of a person or people who walked the earth is what you will miss the most. The higher self stays behind the veil, and you are separated again from your whole self. But the memories of lives past and your guides and angels or universal energies are kept intact, locked away in your heart and mind, ready for you to discover again. You are all born with an angelic seed that gives you multiple abilities that you're naturally capable of. No one human is more special or gifted than another. I always tell you guys that. You have the abilities of what you think an angel can do, yet very few of you find it, embrace it, and believe it. When you are on the other side, there are no limits to what you can do, and this is never lost when you're born on Earth. Your job is discovering that you still have abilities. This is why we angels, who never incarnate, think of humans as so wonderful and brave. We angels understand the limitations you face in your life. We told you all before you came back to Earth again, are you sure? With all the hardships of Earth, you want to do it again? And you stood at the winds of birth and said you wouldn't miss it. And please don't let me forget what I came to remember. The winds of birth, and you probably got goosebumps, right? The winds of birth or the vortex of birth would feel to you as though you are skydiving. A rush of rainbow light swirls around you, softly hitting your face. And if you can imagine this scenario, you've just remembered it. And then you're born. So your soul purpose is one of memory. You are remembering what you're here for. You are remembering your gifts. When you start to put it all together, you are a lighthouse or way shower to others. In effect, you are all each the masters of the universe. And you teach those that are seeing your inner light radiating and the difference in you, and they wish to learn and grow. Through this, they reach their own mastery, and on it goes. There are those who wish to exploit others for their own gains. Some of these have become quite good at leading people and then taking from them all their time and money. Do not concern yourself with what others are doing. If something does not feel right to you, do not follow this because it isn't right, but let others walk their own journey, right? You should only ever seek knowledge from yourself. If you feel that you cannot do that, then only trust others who teach you how to do it without wanting power in return. This never works. Knowledge should come freely. So people are capable of doing wrong, thus creating this ripple effect, but the darker layers of the human being can be cleansed with someone who shows compassion and love to them. A person who is giving into darker urges knows that this is harmful and feels that it's wrong. But again, you humans have the ability to make choices that either harm or heal. Since one candle can light a darkened room with its brightness, it shall only take one person to shine light in those dark places for a dramatic healing to unfold. Dear humans, if you have a talent that you wish to express and it will bring you happiness, then do this. If you're looking for a life purpose, then don't limit your thinking to any one subject. You each have the ability inside you to use the power of your thoughts to manifest your reality. Seek not to know about others. Let others walk their path and you walk yours. It is not your duty to worry or concern yourself with others. Let them lead their own life, and you may find that they instinctively know what they're doing anyway. So many of you spend your life worrying about your finances, your children, your jobs, etc. This stress is unnatural to a spiritual being as yourself. And so this forms hard pockets of energy that clump together. This leaves you feeling drained and foggy in your brain. You have the ability to open your brain function to its full capacity if you imagine that it's taking place. Don't you see, dear humans, that if you can imagine it happening, it will be so. Maybe not instantly, although the thought triggers an energy vibration for that to happen. But if you doubt, this will shift it. If you don't want it, this will stop. And so you can see that with the power of your thoughts, you can make any single thing you want become your reality. If you wish harm to others, then indeed you will eventually bring harm to yourself. And this is directly against your soul purpose. You will have to come back to earth and learn this lesson again, instead of lifting yourself to a new awareness now. And if you so choose, you can stay in spirit and become a guide to other people. And each of you has had this task in the past at your choosing. More of you are evolving to your higher state. The children that have been born for the last 20 years or so are vibrating naturally higher as you have evolved again. So you older ones will be able to help the younger ones, who you may have noticed have never been worried about the fate of this world. You try to get them to see what they need, a job, they need education, they need security, but their goal is on their own happiness, and they just sense that no matter what they do, they'll be okay. And they're right. This is the feeling all humans should have. As the generations have changed and evolved, your own parents had higher standards than you may have had with your children, and that has always been the way of it as well. Each generation has evolved in different degrees, so it's harder for some of you to let go of ingrained beliefs or the right and the wrongs of life. Do not seek to make your life difficult with unrealistic expectations. In reality, there should be no expectations at all, since nothing is ever totally how it seems, and thus life can change in an instant. You could go to work a different way, and thereby you find a lottery ticket. You decide to check it, and your vision of having wealth becomes a reality as it's a winning ticket. But what if you'd not gone a different way to work? Would your dreams still come true? Yes, it will, but maybe not as easily or quickly. Or if it wasn't this time, maybe there's even more money coming. So when you have had a vision about what you wish to achieve, it will involve effort or action on your part, as your angels and guides will co-create miracles with you. We cannot make your dreams come true like magic. We only enhance that which you already have inside of you, and create opportunities in your life to have the things that you're seeking. It will be up to you to notice the signs of this happening. Once you develop your awareness of your life journey, you'll find that some of the goals and dreams you once had are now different. The most important thing in your life journey is going to be to remember who you are and then walk that path. We're nearly done, everybody. Okay, and then walk that path. Okay. It may mean that your choice of friends or habits, for example, will change because they no longer serve your purpose. Embrace the parts of your life that bring you joy, and for goodness sake, please do not feel guilty about anything that you do or have done. If you're not causing harm to others or animals and are having the best intentions in life, then don't feel bad about other things that you do. You do not need to punish yourselves or fear the huge being called God is watching you. The creator energy that is called God does not watch your every move and mark this off in a large book and then wait for you to die and then tell you that you're not welcome. It's not how it works. This way of thinking is human-based fear tactics. Look how this old frequency continues to frighten you into believing that you should be ashamed of yourself or that you're not good enough to enter heaven. If any organization or religion, for that matter, makes you feel like you are weak and they are strong, simply walk away. If you are promised power, money, or status, yet have to give all of these things up first, walk away. The religions and churches of the world are all still in an old frequency, yet all should be free to choose. Bless those who follow their path, but simply walk your own way. So only enter into a belief system that you feel comfortable in. They should help you to grow as a person and not hinder you or make you feel bad for anything that you have done. The way of religion will change when the younger generation takes over. This indeed will bring more people to it, but it will be taught in a more loving, compassionate, and less restrictive capacity. You know in your heart what will resonate with your soul. Listen to it. It is your inner compass, which you set to always steer you in the right direction. You should never be forced to make choices or force changes on anyone, as everything has its place in your life and the lives of others. Do not evangelize that which you know, but rather lead by example. And people will eventually be curious how you look so happy and aglow and nothing seems to bother you. How do you do it, they will ask, having no idea how far you have come to reach the state that you're in. So in your lifetime, you will guide others step by step with your knowledge. But it's always up to the individual how they choose to rise above and see things from a new perspective. Humans go wrong and actually turn people away from what they believe by forcing their views and opinions on others. We're seeing this now, right? This should never be the way, and it will also never truly work. So live your life how you choose. If you wish things to be different in your life, then start to develop your own abilities and use the power of thought to change your reality. Simple. When someone has wronged you, try not to figure out their motives. This only causes more confusion. Just send light to the person in your thoughts and remove yourself from the situation. Yes, it really is that easy. But because you humans have gotten into a worry habit, you will at first doubt that anything can or will help you. Also, you've never lived without worry of some kind, and thus it makes sense to hold on to what you know. But if you just for a moment forgot about the problem and instead imagine for yourself a healed reality, we angels get to work to make it so for you, because of course we want you to see how different and easy your life can become. When seeking relief from the stresses of your jobs, find comfort in the fact that you can have your dream job. And if you ask for assistance and then watch and follow the doors that open for you, it will be available quicker. Don't ever force yourself to stay in positions that make you miserable. trust that all your needs will be met. If you're asking for assistance and imagining it so. Where your children are concerned and you have no idea how to reach them or make them understand you, remember that when your child is ready, all the lessons and love that you gave them will shine through in their lives. Like a jar with the lid of love opened, this will pour out and be reflected in all that they do. So they are listening to you, and although they may not always show it, you have shaped them perfectly for their time on earth. So let this worry go. When you are longing for a special mate to share your life with, remember that this too is predestined by you. And so sometimes you may have given yourself the chance for a couple of options in your romantic life. And don't concern yourself with this. Instead, trust that the right person for you will show up at the right time. Don't be hard on yourself. If you haven't done what you call the best things in life, instead of living in that frequency, rise above. And know that no exact experience will ever be repeated again. No exact experience will ever be repeated again. If you come into hard times where all is going sour, don't sit there and presume that you know how it will turn out. Think instead that this is a good thing to have come to this hole in your life, because this is arranging your prayers to be answered fully. And as this happens, some things that do not belong in your life will fall away. So life is not about having the best education, car, job, house, or partner, unless those things are making you embrace your happiness. The most important part of your soul purpose is to find that happiness even if nothing else existed. This will require effort on your part. But once you have had enough of all the weight of the world, there is relief, and it will be easier than you imagine. Even if you were sleeping in the street and you have peace with yourself and are happy with who you are wealthier than the wealthiest person on the planet, because you have developed your own self-mastery. Do you see your true potential yet, dear humans? Are you going to awaken to infinite possibilities? Some of you are already tingling with energy as you and your higher self connect and rejoice. Some of you will still be unsure but have read this anyway. And some of you will be happy to find something that you feel will really work. And to all of you people, we angels are here waiting to gently guide you forward. We will take you by the hand, lead you in the direction of your goals and your happiness. You will not need to feel pressured by restrictions on what you can achieve. We will help you to discover the magical wonder of that which you really are. We can show you glimpses of past lives, and we can see all that you've ever been before. And you will also learn, when you are ready to see about these things as well. We can heighten your senses and increase your awareness. If you ask for help in any situation, it will be given. But you then need to listen to your instincts and walk through the open doors. You will relax in the knowledge that you are always supported and protected, no matter what comes into your life. You will understand that the only punishment is self-punishment, and how this is very damaging to you physically and mentally. So finally, you will feel like you're on the road to recovery, and indeed you are. You are all in different areas of your soul purpose. But the fact that you're listening to this today shows that you're ready for the next step in your life. You have risen above all the lower emotional levels, and you can sense that now everything in your life will be different. Make the changes in your life that you feel are necessary. Never feel bad or angry with yourself for being in a human body. You will all pass over one day. If you haven't already altered your biological clock to stay young, like Becky, you are capable of doing this. And we will be there to greet you in spirit. And the wonderful homecoming celebrations will begin. There's not one soul who does not have this same welcome. Some of you will be confused. or still feel a natural pull to earth and your time there. But you can choose to stay in this energy field or move forward. The choice, even in death, is yours. If you have experienced a particularly traumatic passing, then you will have healing to recover from this shock. And just on a side note, we have about 6 weeks of healing transitions with the angels. We will never leave your side, and we're also there to support your family as they adjust to the transition. I cannot express the amount of times we angels have watched you in life and held you again in your passing. It has always been the way of it since the beginning of time. So, here are some simple steps to evaluate your progression. You make the decision that you are worth the best. I'm not going to read all this, but make the decision that you're worth the best. Focus on what your goals are and allow others to have their goals. Okay, so this is about empowering yourself. Release anything that you hold in your prison cell. So, there'll be things that you hold on to. Abandonment, betrayal, abuse, regrets, goes on and on and on, right? This is all in your mind. So, dissolving this and erasing these problems and asking for help with that is the most important thing you can do. Live one day at a time. So you're not living too far forward or too far back. You're living right in the present. Ask the angels for help and assistance and expect them to give it to you. Don't just ask and then say, but I don't think that's going to happen. Or just say, look, take over. I'm sick of it. Ask for help and assistance and expect it to come forward. Seek knowledge. Share with your actions. Okay, so you're expanding, you're growing. And there's huge amounts of information in this book. But grab the knowledge and share it, right? Live it. And these are some of the things. So thank you. Archangel Michael says, thanks for listening to the message. Thanks for following your guidance and for beginning a new light-filled life. It's yours to begin when you are ready. Don't let fear hold you back from your greatest accomplishments. If you fall down once in a while, get right back up and start again. There are no judgments. There's only love, pure and eternal. Embrace the life that's rightfully yours. You are far greater and stronger than you can imagine, and your efforts to make a difference will be felt for generations to come. Blessed be, I am Archangel Michael. All right, I'm just going to put the chat back on. Now, I'm sorry that was a long message, but I'm going to just take some questions and talk to you guys about that right now. So, how do you feel after listening to that big message today? I need a drink. I can't see anyone's chats. I don't know whether you're still there, but I've put the good message. Even hearing it again, even reading it for me was like, God, this is huge, right? Do you understand now? Oh, okay, Gloria, no problem. Do you understand what Archangel Michael is trying to say to you guys? So, yeah, there you go. So, even though this is a super long message, what he's trying to say, yes, right? So, what he's trying to say is that we are in control of our destiny the whole time. And we have to be focused on what we're doing, what we're doing, where we're going, etc. Thinking about and worrying about all these other things just holds us back continually. And this also talks about children and people in our life and family coming together and how we're here to change and help heal the world through our vibration and our goodness that we're doing. This is changing everything, right? Because You know, I went through 13 years of trying to fight for my son back. When I was writing this book, that was what was going on for me as well, you know. And I was confused like anybody else. Why do these things happen? Everybody has their blueprints. Everybody has their life. Everybody has their lessons. Things that they are trying to achieve. Things that they're trying to get through. And also things that are set up in your life as experience or triggering a memory of who you really are, etc. All right, that sort of thing happens all the time. And so the biggest key message is, yeah, exactly. Well, I'm happy for you, honey. Don't make me cry. So everybody has their everybody just has their little way or their little essence about themselves and what they're trying to achieve in this lifetime based on all the things that you've done before in past lives as well. And maybe you didn't achieve certain things and that's what you're here to do. Maybe you didn't get past something because of something being in the way. It feels like confirmation of inner knowledge and who I gravitate. And yes, perfect. And that part in there where it was talking about if anyone makes you give up all of your power or is acting superior or is causing upset or violence or, you know, that's it. You know, if everybody's causing that around you for the name of good, how can that be good? If it's causing destruction and chaos, how can that be good? You know? Others recognize this, so it makes much sense. Yes. So you guys recognize me somehow. That's why you're here. Like you're like, oh, okay, I know that lady, or I know her soul, or I know something about her. Like I've known her before. I don't know how, but you gravitate to what you feel because we've been connected before in one way or another. I might have been a spirit guide. You might have been my spirit guide. Who knows? But there's that essence. And then there's some people where like, oh no, no, that doesn't resonate with me, you know, or I don't want that person or whatever it is. And sometimes when we're in the wrong relationship or something as well, and we think, oh, how could I be so stupid? No, there's a reason for it. You came together because you had to clear something. Some people stay with the person they're supposed to clear, thinking that they're supposed to be with that person forever. Well, you know, I'm married now, I've got to be there. And that's how I used to think. I used to think, well, you know, I had kids now, so I've got to be there. You know, that's ridiculous. You're punishing yourself for nothing. So sometimes we've got to meet that person to balance that karma or that energy from past times, etc. Always feel connected to you. Yeah, see, we're like family, right? We might have been in spirit and hanging out in spirit for some time. Like, well, you want to go back down now? Well, I'm just going to wait for this time. I'm going to wait for the 70s. Look, there's all this stuff going on in the 60s. I think I'll wait. You know, and I'm going to go down now. My son came flying in on the 8th of the 8th, right, 1992. And he's like, well, I'm coming in on the Lions Gate, so hear me roar. You know, like, God, you'll never forget me. It's like, no, we can't forget you, Corey. You know, so that's all there. And you kind of work things out to knowing before you came in here, okay, these are the things that I want to achieve and these are going to be the challenges. But the difference is that when you're in that life before you come in, it seems easy to do. Remember, you're in your wholeness when you're in spirit before you come. It seems easy because you're not just physical, you're in all of your wholeness, and it's multi-dimensional parts of who you are. Finally, all come flying back into one space, you know, when you transition. So there's a whole, this can get really, really big. There's a whole lot of stuff. So your life themes, again, never just one thing, but we're going to do a little meditation. So I want you to make sure you've had a drink of water or been to the toilet if you need to, because I know that was a long thing. Someone just had deja vu. Hey, Bill, what did you get? What just happened? Or did you remember something? the basis of all of my teaching and knowledge, etc., with you guys has been channeled. You know, this is how I get my information. I need to ask the angels about this. People are asking about stuff, you know, and I go to it. And I always knew that there was something wrong with, for me, there was something wrong with organized religion. For me, it felt like, you know, it was always, we can exist. It's so expansive and ready for recognition. Cool. There you go. Exactly. Being in a church situation and raised in that way, I always felt like trapped in, or that I was going to get in big trouble. Like all I ever thought of was how wrong I was and how naughty I was and bad I was, and you know, I'm going to be punished and I can't do this, and I just felt so restricted. I'm blessed religion and whatever anybody believes, right? Oh, we've had it all before. Whatever anybody believes that's cool. If that makes you happy, fine. For me, as I'm explaining my thing, it's like I just felt like it was so contradictive. There were so many like, I mean, I was going home after church and being abused. So I'm like, well, you guys aren't learning anything, you know? So yeah, this fear that you're always wrong causes a lot of, you know, mental health issues for a lot of people, you know? And I've just listened to all different types of religions. I'm connected to Jesus like you wouldn't believe. And he came forward to me personally, and after that time, my whole life changed, because I thought, okay, I understand what I've got to do. And, you know, Jesus came and explained it to me just with a look on his face. It was everything I needed to know. And love is where it all stems from. If you have love in your heart and you're trying to help people, that's the intention of goodness. That's all that's needed. You know, if you're trying to make people, you know, listen to you, and it's all violent and angry and upset and fighting and all of that, you're trying to bring people into that, and if they don't do it, then they're the bad ones. I think that's evil right there. You know, that's pure evil. You know, we're seeing things like this happen. Yeah, right. So we're seeing things happen, and right now everything that's taking place around the globe is happening. There's an orb that just went over here. It is happening for peace to come forward. That's why it's so important that we all focus on what we're doing and monitoring ourselves and working on ourselves and raising our vibration and bringing ourselves into alignment and getting rid of any negative traits that we have and doing the best that we can, because this has a ripple effect that more powerful than anything else that you do. Your ability to control yourself is part of your soul purpose. I know you guys all want to know, you know, what the heck else it is, and that'll be an expansive sort of thing for you. And hopefully you'll find out some answers when we do some of these meditations here as well. For me, no one ever said to me, Becky, you're going to be an author and you're going to be talking to people, because there was no way I was going to be talking to people, just no way. And you're going to be sharing stuff and you're going to be talking about things that you love and your spiritual life. No one ever told me that. You know, I was just going to be whatever, nothing, a mother, you know, a young mother, you know, that was it. And 11:11, oh, how awesome, 11:11, you know. So I didn't think that there was anything particularly special about myself other than, you know, how cool is that? Other than when I was very young, I always said to myself, even though I was going through so much trauma and stuff, I just said, oh, there's someone else worse than me. Someone worse than me. There's someone worse than me. I never thought sorry for myself or any of that. Sadness was definitely there. But no, my dad's not a pastor. It goes back in all my family. My dad's a professor of English. Or he was. Now retired, of course. Still volunteers and stuff in school. But my dad was always, you know, in church all the time. But his dad and his dad and his dad, and goes right back in time, were all church leaders. 12. Oh, we got 11 and 12 here. So it does, go back. So the speaking stuff, I guess, comes through. But for me, I stuttered, all during, and Bobby knows I still stutter for him every now and then because he makes me all nervous. He makes me all gooey. And that happens. But I didn't think anyone wanted to hear what I had to say. What would I know? But it turns out I've got a lot to say, and you guys are interested, so that's cool. But we're going to do a meditation here where we're going to be looking at your personal chart. Okay, so yeah, I know. Yeah, because you make me all gooey. Even now, all these years later, I'm still like, oh, it's Bobby. Woo. Yeah, right. But yeah, like the expression and all those things, nobody said anything. It was just like, oh, Becky, you should just be a lawyer. That's it. You make a lot of money and that's it. That's what you got to do. If not, you got to find a rich husband. I'm like, no, I am the rich husband. I'll do it myself. I know. Yep. And yeah, when you're still gooey after all this time, you found the right one. Right? Okay, so Soul Purpose with Archangel Michael. If you didn't listen to it all, I hope that you do take it in and really listen to some of the things that were said in there, because even as I was reading it to you guys, I'd forgotten just how in-depth and how much information was there and how relevant it is to what's going on right now, and key points that we need to listen to in there also. But what we're going to do next is a meditation. Let's see if I can find the right one. This is a meditation to look at your charts, okay? Very, very quick one. I'm just skimming over this just very quickly. We are going to be looking at some parts of your life in this particular meditation. I want you to remember that you're observing. This is not a place of, you're not going to go into the feeling of it if it's something that you don't particularly like. We're just looking at it and realizing that we're in this learning process. Okay. There may also be, in this particular meditation, some very quick flashes of past lives that come up. Again, we're observing. We're letting go of anything we don't need, and we're enhancing what we do need. If you do need help with past life regression therapy, there are some people that are here today that have been through it with me, and I do recommend it. You get a lot out of it. It's amazing what we go through. Okay, all right. Okay. All right, everybody. This is a very, very quick meditation. Okay. I'm going to leave pauses in it as we go through. Yeah, Dana knows. I'm going to just pause as you're looking at little sections as we go through this. Remember, we're completely safe. Sometimes when you have or are doing a meditation, sometimes you're just enjoying the relaxation, and that's absolutely fine. And so later on, you can set the intention that whatever's not revealed now will be revealed later on as we go through. Okay, because we got this one, and we're going to be talking about some life themes, and then we've got a final huge meditation that you guys are just going to be blown away with. I really hope so. Oh, I can see all these lights on the ceiling. Okay. And then we'll be finishing. Okay. So here we go. All right, I'm going to turn the chat off for this part so I can concentrate. Just relax. Okay, I want you all to just relax. Have your crystals in hand. Take a few deep breaths right now. Just be very comfortable. So we're just breathing in. We are relaxing. I want you to use your imagination the whole time. Just use your imagination and listening to my voice. As you listen to my voice, you will go deeper into relaxation. I want you to surround yourself now with beautiful golden lights. The angels, your light team, Mother and Father God, your higher self, are placing a beautiful golden light all the way around you and underneath you, above you, activating all of your senses. And just relax. Imagine your feet relaxing now with this golden light. Moving up your legs. Your torso. And relaxed. Breathing in the golden light around your arms. Neck and head. Keep breathing in and out. And just say to yourself in your own mind, I am unstressing every part of my body. I can address every cell and tell each of them to work in harmony. You are the guardian of your own mind, body and soul. You can instruct your mind to release any and all negativity attached to an unpleasant memory, whether it's from this life or any past time. Let yourself relax now even more deeply, and you feel as if you are floating. And all of a sudden, you are aware that you are floating through a beautiful, pure, white tunnel. You feel no pain, only a sense of peace and well-being. All your worries and hurtful memories evaporate now like smoke. As you move through this tunnel, you can feel an even stronger connection to your soul than ever before. The layers of self-doubt, envy, inadequacy, worry, depression, anger, and vengeance all become nothing more than a part of a play you saw but left behind. Moving through this pure white, beautiful tunnel, you are relaxed and at peace, leaving all of those experiences behind you. And as you reach the end of the tunnel, you have purple light of spirituality all around you. And you find yourself facing a beautiful Romanesque building with marble pillars and stairs going up. You ascend these stairs and go through the marble archway. Everything is gleaming and white. And in the middle of the room, at the top of the stairs, there's a beautiful orb-like glass, like a crystal ball. You move towards it and look inside of it. At first it seems cloudy, but then images begin to take shape. You realize that you are scanning your life. You can see how you chose your charts, your blueprints, your soul purpose, and what lessons you wanted to learn. Then more images come very quickly, but sequentially. Your birth, your early childhood, your puberty, just looking at these images now through the crystal ball, memories of you. If you see something sad or upsetting, realize now how it was a learning experience. And then realize now how surprised you are by how much you actually decided that you were going to learn. As you are watching, you feel disconnected. It's you, but you are past that now. If you feel emotional or cry, that's okay. This is a release. Hold an intention now to look into this glass, to see past lives, letting go of any phobias or illnesses that you might have brought with you. Just holding the intention of letting go of any phobias or illnesses that you might have brought with you. Understand that it's done. Enhancing all of the positive attributes and letting go of anything you no longer need. Anything that's stalling your purpose. Anything that you carried with you or are carrying with you now through your physical body, it is dissolved. Mother and Father, Goddess and God are pulling this out of your energy now. Give them permission mentally. Feel yourself getting lighter and lighter. Know that this can happen over time. Over the next week, you will be losing more and more and more of the past that was not helping you, and feeling lighter and lighter. Your abilities awakening, fear surrounding them leaving, opportunities coming forward now. Just breathe. Don't forget to breathe. And as you look in this ball one more time, a short message will be written to you in white letters. See what your message is right now. Trust it. What's your first impression of your message from Spirit for you? Read the words or know the words. Sense the words. Don't doubt it. Something you need to know right now. And with thanks and love in your heart, you move away now from this beautiful crystal ball. Back through the archway, down the stairs, bathed in purple light, into the tunnel of white light, coming back up, up, up the tunnel, coming back up, knowing that you've pulled out negative memories that were stalling your soul and brought forward joy and new beginnings. Moving back through the tunnel now with the white light dissolving the last of it. Back to where you are now, all the way back. Feeling free, released, and in full control of your destiny. You are on track, and you are very much loved by Source and all those who support you. Take a moment, take a deep breath in and out. And when you're ready, just open your eyes. Okay. I'm going to have a quick talk about what you experienced in that little tiny meditation. Sometimes the small ones are the most powerful. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Hopefully that's still on. Okay. People just coming out of it a little bit. Yay. Release. Oh, I like that, Dana. Oh, that's amazing. Yep. It's okay. Some people fall asleep. Maybe you're meant to have the relaxation, and that's okay. Well, if you think that one's a good one, wait till we get to the next one. Maybe, Eliza, you don't really need to remember much. Maybe it's not about that for you. Maybe it's just that you're acknowledging that you're letting go of it. It's just acknowledgement, you know. And the message was life and living. Oh, I like that one, Katie. Nice. Excellent. So people got a message at the end of that. On the crystal ball, you could see a message, or did you feel a message or sense a message? Some of you have said your messages. I like that, Dana. I could have guessed. You're such a sweet lady. I miss talking to you, by the way. Evolve. Wow. You are loved, Michelle. You need to know that more than anybody, Michelle. Love and freedom. Yeah, Eliza, that's, you know, beautiful. Trust. Me too. Trust is the biggest key to anything that you're trying to do here. And love, of course, having unconditional love. Release. All these words are very, very important for us. But when you trust, then I'm telling you, that is when you come into who you really are very quickly. And if you can't trust, then there's things that need to shift from you. Seeing a purple heart. Ooh. You will be okay. I like that, Dana. Now, just be open to receiving even more messages, like we said. And maybe you're going to get a big message after we did the last meditation. Wow. The purple lights are important for us. We need purple with our spiritual journey, for sure. That's gorgeous. Awesome, Deborah. Oh, that's nice, Blaine. That's perfect. Awesome. All right, everybody. I'm just going to quickly run through. I want you to, if you have a piece of paper and a pen or your iPad or something like that, perhaps you need to take note of these different life themes. These are life themes of humanity. So you can write them down and see where, like later on, see where you feel like you fall into. Okay? There's 47 different life themes. So I'm not going to get into too much detail about each one because it's kind of self-explanatory. But I wanted you to see where you feel that you fit into. And sometimes there's a couple of these that you're doing all at once. Okay? So, all right. So some of these, like I said, you can have a couple of them as we're going along. If you don't have can I post them later? I guess I could put them in the comments maybe, or, okay. I can write them all out. No worries. Okay. 47 life themes of humanity. Just try to pay attention to what you feel. The first one is an activator. Someone who is activators should make every effort to confine their energies to tasks where genuine opportunity to achieve beneficial change exists. An activator is someone who decides to come forward and change things, okay? Sometimes they're called activists, okay? But sometimes they spread themselves too thin or get too angry in a course. So, activator. The second one is aesthetic pursuits. Music, drama, painting, sculpting, writing are included in aesthetic pursuits. Driven maybe from a young age to do these sorts of things. And this is something that you've come in as a theme. You may have more than one, remember I said. The third one is the analyzer. The analyzer scrutinizes every single detail. We do know some people like this, right? And a lot of times an analyzer will look for evidence. They may be scientists as well. They'd be looking for evidence in everything that they do, right? Instead of seeing how, the effects of something happens, they're looking for the evidence of visual evidence all the time. They can become quite mental, like always thinking as well. The banner carrier is like a cause fighter as well. The banner carrier may be demonstrating, lobbying, fighting against injustice as well. Discrimination is also. So the banner carrier. The builder. These are the cornerstones of society, the unsung heroes, the heroines of war, home life, and organizations. Builders. Good parents are often builders, enabling their kids to paint on a much larger canvas, of course. Builders rarely receive credit for their achievements as well. Builders, what's that word there? I'm trying to read my own writing. So oftentimes a builder, they don't get much credit on earth. It comes later, of course, but they're here to help. They're here to create, and they're the silent heroes. The caretaker, those people who, want to look after everybody and do so happily. Some people keep someone in their life until they're dying, and some people live with all of their family members together until they pass on, and it keeps on going and going. These are caretakers. Catalysts, networkers, innovators, agents of change who want to make things happen. So they're like, right, innovative people. Sometimes they're just so passionate about what they do that they can be very, very stressful as well. All right, so there's something to look for. So they want to change things and they want to do things, but then they become very, very stressed as well. They haven't learned to balance things. The cause fighter. Peace, whales, hunger, fighting for the right cause. They'll keep on creating causes to fight for. Sometimes this can become quite obsessive as well. So although they start off with a good intention, sometimes they're fighting for a cause. Oops, I need to just plug my thing in real quick. They're fighting for a cause and it becomes an obsession. Okay, so all of these things need to be balanced. Oops, just a minute, everybody. Okay. All right. The controller. All right. So the controlling energy is a challenge. Typical examples of control: Napoleon, Hitler, that kind of thing. And it can be manifesting in their most negative sense. Narcissists come under this thing. They've come in with this theme to control because it helps other people. Everything is about other people, but you don't realize it when you're living your life. It just feels like that person's a jerk, but that person's doing it as part of their own blueprint and lessons and learning, and to help you as well. So, ego can be involved with that as well. Emotionality. Coming in with the energy of emotion. Poets, artists have this deep emotion connection, right? And it's a severe challenge because they're trying to enhance creativity whilst feeling this emotion all the time as well. So it's vital for them to maintain self-control, not get so absorbed into it, kind of thing. The experiencer. This entity will go from a flower child to a bank president to a vagabond touring to the world to a self-made boat. They're just always doing something. They're experiencing something all the time. They dabble in nearly everything and master many of their pursuits. Wealth is basically a byproduct of what they do. Good health is essential to experiences. So while they're doing all this stuff, they've got to make sure they're maintaining their energy as well. I would say that I'm an experiencer. Part of my, my life theme is to experience, definitely. I'm always going everywhere. Fallibility. So people with this theme appear to always be at the wrong place at the wrong time. They've entered life with a physical, mental, or emotional handicapped. So we've all been this as well. If we're not handicapped in this life, we've been it before. Helen Keller, for example, who was an infant, left her deaf and blind, is an excellent example. Her triumph over these hindrances is an inspiration to everyone. So entities with a fallibility theme, to remember that they chose this path in order to set an example for the rest of us. So we all know people like this as well. Follower. Okay, initially these entities might have preferred to be leaders, but on some level they decided not to make the necessary commitments. The challenge of the follower is to realize that leadership is impossible without them, and thus recognize their own importance. All right, so a follower needs to understand their own importance in life. These may be ringing in a certain area of your life as well. Harmony. 14, harmony. Balance remaining vitally important to people with harmony theme. They'll go to any length to maintain balance. Okay? The personal sacrifices are admirable, but the real challenge lies in acceptance of life's wrinkles. Not trying to always even it out. Don't worry, it's okay, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. There needs to be an acceptance of where you've been. Some people have this harmony energy. Healer. These entities are naturally drawn to some aspect of the healing profession. It may be physical or mental. The good they do is obvious. The only danger is that can easily become too empathetic. So too much empathy, feeling it, taking it on. Big no-no. That's why we need to get ourselves in a place of receiving and shut it off when we're finished. We're not drawing in everybody else's crap. It's too much. But we all do that to some degree. Right, we're all healers. Humanitarian, action. So humanitarians, very, very clear with helping humanity itself, but they're not interested so much in being a activist or protesting or all that stuff. They're interested in helping each other. The only challenge is they've got to work on themselves. Infallibility. Entities with this category are born rich, attractive, funny. They've got everything. Yet when we consider that perfection is everyone's goal, we find that this theme is actually one of the most challenging. There's often a tendency towards excess of all kinds. There may be a lack of self-esteem that causes those with infallibility to fear that they aren't lovable as individuals because they have all this stuff going on for them. They're like, well, who really loves me? Do they really love me for me, or just because, of how I look or whatever? So the goal here is an acceptance theme also. Intellectuality. So professors, Charles Darwin, people like this who use knowledge to acquire, through extensive study, experiments and all that sort of stuff. So they might have knowledge mentally, but not for themselves or for the mundane world. So they're too far up in energy to understand the reality of life itself. So this is a theme that people might have, and they have to overcome these things. Irritant. So this is like a person who's an agitator, okay? A deliberate people who are just always picking on people. Fault finding. They want to find perfection. Even if you were perfect, they'd still find something wrong with you. These are people that are always picking on everybody else, right? And that's their theme. That is funny enough that's part of their theme, is like they've come here to agitate you, and it helps you, right? It either hinders you or helps you. Hopefully you get over it and it helps you. And they tend to, because they have their own imperfections, they're picking it out on everybody else. We all know people like this. This is the irritant energy. We've all been one as well, okay? The other one is justice, number 20. Founding fathers of America were concerned as they were with fairness and equality as examples of justice theme in operation. Those who eagerly help out, provide the authorities with information. They may have witnessed an accident or a crime or whatever. They're like, okay, I'm calling it in. As admirable as it sounds, it's imperative that these people use discretion in their choices and remain centered within themselves. So they're not always just like, oh, that person's doing that, I'm going to call someone up. Okay, they're in trouble now, great, that kind of thing. We all know people like that too. So justice in the positive sense, like wanting justice to be done, the right for the world, not so much nitpicking on all these other things. 21, lawfulness. Practicing or teaching law could be this thing. They're almost obsessed with issues of legality. Some people can be serving on governing boards. These goals keep the world safe and balanced, but they must be on guard against the possibility of using their power in a self-serving manner. So it all goes to their head and they start, egotistical energy comes in. So keeping balance. So all of this is about keeping balance. A leader, number 22. Those who possess this theme are self-controlled, premeditated, and rarely innovative, choosing to take charge in areas that are already established. Their drive is towards success rather than creation. And this challenge is to avoid power trips. And their challenge is to avoid power trips. Leader, lawfulness, justice, all these sort of things go in together. Number 23, the loner. Although often in the vanguard of society, those with this theme invariably pick occupations or situation in which they're isolated in some way. And sometimes this happens to me because being, having the abilities and, opening them up and doing the work that I do, it's frowned upon by a lot of people that I knew in my life, and you end up being alone with it all. Not completely, obviously, you're connecting with the right people, etc. But you have been the black sheep of the family and, kicked to the curb or homeless or just feel alone in everything that you believe in and everything that you do. And the challenge is to do it anyway, right? So this is part of my theme, the loner. The next one's not a very nice word, but it's the loser. These entities are extremely negative, okay? If you said something positive to them, they go, yeah, but that, blah, 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 but not me, blah, 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 blah. They've always got something frigging negative to say right back to you. This is the person who's the loser energy. And they're an irritant as well. They're part of that. They're an agitator. It's all there. They're all in it for a reason. You can't take it personally, but this person really has a poor me attitude. They feel like everything's done to them. They are narcissistic in a way where they don't take responsibility for any of their actions, but they want others to take responsibility for theirs. All the time picking on you or making you remember something that you did 25 years ago, right? Some of these loser energies are our parents, unfortunately, or people that are close in our family or whatever. So they have a poor me attitude. They're the martyrs. you know, they move from one soap opera to another of their life, and if you're not giving them all of your attention, then you're the bad one. The 25, number 25, the manipulator. This is closely involved as well. This is a powerful theme. Manipulators are easily able to control situations as well as people. By viewing life as a chessboard, those with this theme can move individuals and circumstances to their advantage as though they were pawns. But when such a person works for the good of others, this theme is elevated to its highest purpose. However, when the theme is misused, the ultimate goal of perfection takes a long time to achieve, right? Number 26, passivity. Surprisingly, this theme, they're active, but about nothing. Although they take stands on issues at times, it's always in a non-violent manner. They're just very passive, right? Of course, any extreme is hurtful to the individual, but some tension can be needed in order to bring a perfection of the soul. So you can't sit back your whole life. There's going to have to be something that you believe in and move forward with. Patience, number 27. These people often carry great amount of guilt when they feel like they've strayed from their goal, right? So, and it can result in impatience. They need to become self-lenient. So they're always hard on themselves, but patient with others. So there's a balance that needs to be created. Number 28, the pawn. Pawns trigger something of great magnitude into being. We can't evolve towards universal perfection without the pawn, but those entities who select this theme should preserve their dignity, but only picking worthy causes. You know, not always picking on all these other things. The peacemaker is part of the harmony theme here. Sometimes they're pushy in their pursuit of peace. So it sort of doesn't really work, does it? You see this happening a lot now. People pushing an agenda, trying to say that it's for the good, but it's becoming oppressive. It's becoming heavy, right? So that's when it's out of balance. So the peacemaker need to learn to be tranquil in all things and calm in all ways. They try to stop war and violence and all that, but then sometimes it creates it, you know? Exactly. Perfectionist. Number 30, perfectionist. We all want things to be nice and clean and all that sort of stuff, but they pretend to be, perfectionists are always hard on themselves, right? Yeah. Perfectionists are hard on themselves. And they force themselves to leave, you know, they work so hard on themselves all the time that they may be forced to leave situations so they can give themselves a break, you know, recover their energy, etc. You've got to be able to balance things. Performance. This is obvious, you know, for performers, those people with performers, it's highly rewarding, but also very exhausting. They sometimes performers are party animals. They're the ones that never slow down. They're the ones that are always out Thursday, Friday, Saturday night doing the karaoke. They're just always got to be out there performing. They can go into entertainment careers as well, but it's balanced. But they may also just be content to have parties at home all the time. But the challenge here is to combat burnouts by looking within and nourishing and entertaining themselves, right? Persecution, number 32. Entities with this theme go through life in anticipation of the worst. We all know people like that too. Certain that they're being singled out. Oh, they're the only person that has a problem. The only person that ever got abused. No one's had it worse than them. This is what this person does. Goes along with manipulating energy as well, and they can become quite negative, as we know, right? They have a role to play in humankind, because you see people like that and you're like, oh, I don't want to be like that. So they have their role to play, and maybe sometimes we've all felt sorry for ourselves, but this is more persecution. This person is just like constantly at it. I mean, they can be child abusers, mass murderers, everything. Bad seeds. Poverty. The theme of poverty can appear frequently in developing nations, yet it can be even more of a challenge in affluent societies as well. Some entities with poverty as a theme may actually have all they need to be comfortable, yet they feel poor. With progress, the frenzy fades and is slowly replaced by a sense of bliss. So their idea is to feel comfortable in whatever they have. Let go of poverty consciousness. Break it away. If that's something that you had in a past life, you don't want to continue poverty in this life, and you can break it away from yourself. Psychic, number 35. The theme of a psychic is more of a challenge than a gift, at least in the early stages. So entities with this theme often come from strict backgrounds where authority figures strive to deny or suppress their gifts of being able to hear, see, or sense things. But they have to learn to accept and live with them, using them for the good in a spiritual manner. All right. What is 33? Persecutor. So with psychic abilities, etc., and you're working, my thing is that I only charge for my time. And I give a lot of free stuff away for years, like all the time, right? So I only charge for my actual time. I don't really charge for what I'm giving you. It's just for my time. And if I didn't have to worry about that and I didn't have to eat, then, I wouldn't be charging anything, right? So, you're doing things for a good spiritual, sharing with other people, etc. Number 36, rejection. This is a challenging theme, and it manifests itself early, accelerating with entry into school and subsequent involvement in relationships. Often this is deserted. People who are rejections in their theme are deserted by those that they love. Even their own children will adopt other people in their life. They may feel rejected by their own kids. The pattern can be broken once the person recognizes what's happening and surrenders the action and ego behind it to God, to the universe, letting it all go. It's a challenging one though. Number 37, the rescuer. Often finds the rescuer working alongside cause fighters and all that stuff. The rescuer remains to care for injured people. So once someone moves on, the rescuer will stay behind and try to help. Always trying to do, having a high degree of empathy, always being the one to clean up the mess. Some of you may be feeling this as part of your theme as well. Determined to save people, determined to change people, etc. So oftentimes the rescue is the one that's left hurt and behind. It's a tough road, but the spiritual rewards of being a rescuer are great indeed. Okay? All right, so sorry, I could just see this ladybird on my window. That's cool. Responsibility, number 38. So individuals who've chosen the responsibility theme embrace it with fervor rather than obligation. They feel guilty if they don't take care of everybody who comes into their space. This is a big one for a lot of you. Remember that other people are responsible for themselves. This is what brings it into balance. You are not responsible for everybody else, and therefore putting yourself last. This may be something that you need to learn as part of your life theme. Spirituality is number 39. The quest to find a spiritual center is all-encompassing for people of this category. People such as Billy Graham, Mother Teresa, along with lay people who give their lives, money, or time to contribute to humankind. When the full potential of this theme has been reached, these people become far-sighted, compassionate, and magnanimous. But while still involved in the search, they need to guard against being narrow and judgmental in their views. This can happen, people want to have this spiritual pursuit, but they're focused in on being a Catholic or a Christian or a Jew or whatever it is, and that's it. And that squashes you. You know, there's so much more out there. Learn about all of it. Learn about all of it. Number 40, survival. Life is a constant struggle for these people who've selected a survival theme. At their best in a crisis situation, these souls take a grim view of day-to-day existence. So obviously they need to lighten up. So in all of these cases that I'm explaining to you, you've probably worked your way through some of them, right? Because you're not in that space. This is showing you what it can feel like when you're in the worst of it, you know, at times, or when it's the egotistical side of it or whatever, or it's blocking you. But a lot of people probably said, well, you know what, I had this stuff happen to me when I was young, but I didn't feel sorry for myself or become manipulative or become abusive. I changed it and became this instead, which is fantastic. This is what you're meant to do. Okay. Number 41, temperance. Avoiding extremes, as entities with a temperance theme are more than likely dealing with an addiction of one kind or another. So they've got to bring themselves into balance, right? The true meaning of temperance is, you know, is sort of balancing not just what your addiction may be or whatever, but how you see yourself, how you live your life, everything in moderation. Number 42, tolerance. Needing to be tolerant about everything. World affairs, relatives, children, politics, so off. The burden's so great, you'll only often choose one area to tolerate, remaining very narrow-minded about the rest. But by recognizing your theme, these people can meet the challenge and grow more magnanimous in the process. So they feel like they need to just tolerate everything, but usually that's too hard, so they just tolerate one thing and then just dismiss the rest. So the idea is to become balanced in what you're doing and seeing yourself as important as well. Number 43, the victim. These people have chosen to be martyrs and sacrificial lambs, and through their example, dramatically displayed by the media, we're made aware of injustice. So, there is a note here, President John F. Kennedy is one who pursued a victim theme through his means of exiting the planet. His back pain, his family name, the pressures placed upon him by his parents. After having played their parts, many victims may choose to rewrite future scripts by altering their own tendencies. So that, you know, they come in quite dramatically as well. And sometimes it's there for all to see, like Marilyn Monroe and all that as well. A victimizer. So People's Temple leader Jim Jones was a prime example of this theme in action. It's obvious that many lives, as well as many themes, interacted with his. In the tapestry of his life, Jones's unique role may have been to focus public attention on cult abuse. So even though he was a cult leader and he did what he did, it focused everybody's attention on it. So anything that happens here is to bring us into an awareness of some kind, or stop doing what we're doing, you know. So there you go, victimizer. Number 45, the warrior. Fearless risk takers who assume a variety of physical challenges. So many go into some form of military service or law enforcement. Although it's important to temper the aggression, it still remains that without warriors, we would be prey to tyrants. Number 46, wealth. Sounds like a great choice. But it's invariably more like a burden that leads to destructive behaviors if it's not checked. So as with any theme, its goal is to overcome its negative aspects. Wealth is a seductive tempter that acts like an addiction. It's very difficult to gain control of this theme, so it tends to become one's master. People with this theme may be obsessed with acquiring growing, and hoarding money, unconcerned of the methods of acquisition or the consequences of their actions in their quest for more. Moral values are of no importance to these in this category, so it can take many lives to overcome due to its powerful effect on a person. When people do finally master wealth, you find them freely giving away their things and their time and their efforts, etc., with no desire for anything in return other than the wantingness of helping. That's when it's nice and balanced. Finally, number 47, the winner. Unlike those entities with a theme of infallibility, to whom everything comes easily, winners strive to win with great tenacity, never giving up, often gambling or entering contests. Perennial optimists, they're always certain that the next deal, job, or marriage will be the best. No sooner has one deal fallen through than they pick themselves up and go on to what they know will be a winning situation. So President Dwight D. Eisenhower apparently was a positive example of this theme. As a general, his unfailing optimism was inspiring. As a president, his confidence had a calming effect. The challenge for these entities, which Eisenhower appears to have met, is to take a realistic approach to winning. So people, those are the 47 different themes. You may find that there's many of those that are, oh, let me just see. Okay, cancel that. Okay, so hopefully you found where you fit. There might be 10 things that you're trying to accomplish in this lifetime, you know, or you are aware of those that are, you know, those manipulators or the people who act like victims or the people that are sorry for themselves and all those different things and all the pursuits that you also may believe in fall somewhere in here. Okay, so this is what we have to do. We have to find a balance. It's okay, Katie. I'll go through and write them all down in the comments later. Or on Patreon or whatever. I'll try to make this list for you guys. All right, so don't worry about it if you don't have them all. So did you guys find where you belonged in that list? Because I'm finding that interesting. Yeah. All right, quite a few. Because once you can figure this out, you can start to see how you need to balance and, you know, where you need to be going forward. So part of this is also, yeah. Part of this comes up in readings sometimes if you've had a soul strand reading with me, where we look at the different strands of the soul and what's unbalanced and what is balanced and why you feel the way that you do and all this stuff. And it all comes into the life themes, you know, because each one of us are a spiritual traveler. You know, we're a spiritual traveler and we're mystical in nature. And so we have to gather as much experiences as we can. Life has changed so many times, so did the life themes. Yeah, exactly. So you may start off as something and completely change because you've balanced these things. That's fantastic. Yeah. So, you know, the idea is to balance these things so you don't have to come back and do it again. Right? And so if you've recognized you can see things we've passed through. Yeah. Right? So if you've recognized these things about yourself or not, then that's all that it's left to do here. Interesting how many of these things I've felt at different times in your life. Exactly. And you got through them. So you mastered the themes. That's what you were supposed to do. So this means that you're very close. If some things are still there, then you're very close to just discovering everything and balancing yourself up completely and beginning a whole new chapter, a whole new beginning. Now, so far, I hope you guys have enjoyed this particular webinar. And the last thing that we're going to do here, fantastic. The last thing that we're going to do here is quite a beautiful, I mean, you may get quite emotional with this visualization, all right? But I have to take you through it because you need to see how important you are. You need to see how important you are as a soul. And finding one little purpose, I hope you've realized that it's so much more expansive than that. But you listen to this particular meditation and do your best with it. We are going to be bringing in, and probably you're meeting for the first time, the energy of Mother God. You may never have thought of the energy of the divine masculine and the divine feminine being related to the energy of Source or God. But I'm telling you now, the Mother God energy, she's like Archangel Michael in her golden armor, and she is going to give you a special attunement or induction, okay, as well as so many angels, it's not funny, and God and Jesus and everybody, okay? All right, so Eliza, with regards to your visualizations, I want you to use your imagination. And I tell people this who watch my webinars, I always say to you, well, you know where your front door is, don't you? You can imagine your front door, your car, driving to the store, a tree that's outside. You can imagine your animals. You can imagine your children's faces. So that is visualization. That is your psychic ability. You've got one. It's there. You've got more than one, obviously. But if you can start to recognize that you are seeing things, even if you think it's just a memory of yours, that's the area of your brain that connects to visualization. That's the area of your brain that will take you through all of this. But for the most part, what I want you to do is just, like I said, use your imagination, listen to my voice, let the feelings take over. Let your emotions take over, okay? Let yourself experience in this way and let go. Just let go. And over the coming weeks, you will see, you have no choice but to see your life improve, your health improve, everything on every level. Things just change, okay? So I'm going to take you through this special ceremony, induction ceremony kind of thing. If you have a candle lit, that's perfect. Just keep an open mind with this meditation right now. All right. Okay, everybody. Just want you to stay in a seated position wherever you are. Some people may want to stand during this one, but you don't have to. You can imagine yourself standing up. And as I'm speaking, you may begin to feel a fluttering around you, a fluttering or goosebumps energy as we're going through this visualization. You may feel that as the angels come close, okay? Just go with it. Go with your feelings. Remember, you're protected. The angels are congregating around you along with your guides, your loved ones, other spiritual travelers, your own personal counsel, Jesus, and Mother and Father God. Relax. Imagine now, using your total imagination, that you're in a meadow that stretches for miles. There are no obstructions, except for high golden mountains in the background. These mountains look like they do at sunset or sunrise. On these mountains stand all of the angels. The cherubim and seraphim are singing softly. The archangels, the virtues, the powers, the dominions, the thrones, the principalities, and uncounted throes of regular angels are all watching from the mountains. You begin to notice that where you are standing is strewn with rose petals, and the smell is heady. You walk a little way and you become aware of a rose arch. Behind this, there is a garden filled with every flower imaginable. You hear the most beautiful songs of birds in the distance. You can feel the warm sun on your face and enjoy a light, fragrant breeze that dances around you. You're at such peace, and you have the sensation of familiarity and of being home. The Mother God and her angel army of thrones begin to march down the mountain. They're all dressed in gold. Behind them are the archangels, who are all dressed in purple. Behind them, the principalities, who wear emerald green. God the Father stands a short distance in front of you, and our Lord Jesus stands to the left of you. Your counsel, your loved ones and guides are a little to the right of you, looking on, pleased and smiling. Our Mother comes with her arms above her head. In her right hand, she carries a golden sword. In her left hand, she carries a golden scepter. Very quickly, she places herself behind, but above you. There is a golden mantle with iridescent lights that reflect purple, green, white, orange, and blue like a rainbow. But gold is the predominant color. Gold is poised above your head. And you speak these words which go out into the universe. And you can do so in your mind and repeat after me. Dear Mother, dear Father, I embrace this mantle. From all my lifetimes and all I've seen and experienced, I now walk totally with you. This is the culmination of all my lives, And I have come full circle to embrace my spirituality. It seems that time stops now. The entire universe is quiet because the other side is listening and watching. Only the slight fluttering of wings is discernible. And you repeat after me again. Dear Holy Spirit, which is the love between the Mother and Father God, I ask now that my will is cemented with that of the Mother, the Father, and the Son, that from this moment on, I will be in the legion of merit, service, and spirituality that is only between myself and you. I wish to be in the army of the spiritual traveler and do your bidding. Now, with her arms extended and a beautiful smile on her face, Mother God is now standing in front of you with her sword upheld. She puts her sword in front of you and then places it on both of your shoulders as if you're being knighted. Gradually the mantle begins to drop. You don't feel drained, but rather that glorious light is going through your entire body. You know, as you never have before, that you are completely steeped in overwhelming love. Your senses are enhanced more than ever. You seem to hear everything, including the sounds of the angels. And it's almost like you can feel the flowers grow. Your eyes can make out every detail. And you inhale all the floral scents. Your heart and soul are open to the Mother. Your mind is open to the Father and the Son. Your whole body seems to vibrate with an unconditional love that you've never been aware of before. Now the mantle finishes dropping, which you feel as just a small pressure. You may think that the mantle would be heavier, but it's light. It becomes part of your soul. You barely feel it on your skin. And then it goes deep inside. It immediately cements in your soul, mind, and body, including every organ. And closes softly around you, and you feel as if you're being encompassed and hugged by love. Your mantle is now branded upon you by your will, and it is forever. No matter how far you go, even to the ends of any universe or to the ends of time, it will always be with you. See our mother strike the pose of the ultimate warrior queen who fights negativity, but also see her as the ultimate in love and benevolence. See our Father embracing you with all his love and acceptance. Feel the breath of the Father God on your face as he advances, strong, regal, and magnificent. You can feel the full essence of this mighty Creator. You sense his strength and unconditional love. The inner healing of your soul begins as sparks of silver ascent through your entire body. And you say to yourself, inside your mind, dear God, hold these hands of the spiritual traveler that can now heal. Soothe my tongue to speak truth, and use it to impart your infused words through the eons that can hear beyond words that are spoken. Let my eyes see more than they have ever seen before. Let my third eye be fully open so that I can pierce through negative darkness. I will go wherever I'm needed. In the name of the Father, Mother, Holy Spirit, and our Lord Jesus Christ. In my right hand I will receive a golden sword to fight evil. And I will clamp my sword to my heart. I have the mantle that protects me, my mind and soul, which are branded with the love of Father and Mother and my promise. And so it is. Feel the peace. Feel the magnificence of your soul rising up, stretching your soul so wide, and knowing your very being, you have answered the call, and your will has truly been done. And sit for a moment, basking in this beautiful moment, proud in your true I am. Mother God walks behind you and makes it known to all you have joined her army. You feel that you are absolutely part of the ranks of those who've gone before you and will come after you to win the battle against darkness. Now just feel yourself back in your physical body, grounded to the center of the earth, connected always to what you have seen today, what you have felt, what you have heard, what you have experienced. You have a mighty army behind you. They've always been there, and now you recognize your part in this world, your purpose in this world, and more will become revealed to you. Take a deep breath in, giving thanks, so it is, and breathe out. All right, everybody. That's just beautiful. Even for me, reading it all to you. Can feel all these tingles and stuff going on. I hope that you enjoyed this quick webinar today. You're welcome, you're welcome. And look out for things that are coming in the weeks to come. Experiences, how you felt. You're welcome, Michelle. You're welcome. And go back over this if you can. At least go over these meditations in your own time. Of course, you've got the link whenever you want to do this. And there will be more webinars to come, of course, and you guys will be involved in them. You're very welcome. And I appreciate each and every one of you for being a part of Patreon. This is why I'm giving back to you all, of course, like this, and more to come, of course. And sending you lots and lots of love, many blessings and many thanks, of course. And I'm going to leave you with this experience. Write down your feelings and thoughts or record them somehow, and take time with yourself. Beautiful. Well done, Morgan. And take time with yourself to recognize yourself in a new light. And hopefully by tomorrow at the latest, I should have all the 47 themes written up for you all. I'll put it on Patreon. Or I guess I can put it underneath the video as well. I'll just copy it into a Word document. And thanks, Bill. And hopefully now you're going to see your pathway forward without focusing on what it has to be so much. More that you're just in tune with the universe now, and it's going to be what it's going to be. But there'll be more on this subject that I can do, of course, at a later date. Sending love to everybody, and thank you so much for being here once again. All the best. Grateful to each one of you as well. Thank you so much. Blessings and love. Thank you to my husband for helping out, and I'll say goodbye for now. Bye, everyone.